Lewis Hamilton. 7 world championships, over 100 race wins, and a career that has been nothing short of extraordinary. But as we head into 2025, there's one question that has everyone talking. Will Hamilton finally win his 8th title? The stakes couldn't be higher. After years of dominance at Mercedes, Hamilton has made what might be the boldest move of his career, joining Ferrari. Yes, Ferrari, the team synonymous with prestige, history, and chaos.
Is there a leakage?
A leakage of what?
I have the seat full of water, like full of water.
Must be the water.
It's a move that has divided fans and experts alike. Some see it as the perfect ending to an already iconic career. Others? Well, they are not so sure. To understand why Hamilton's 8th title isn't guaranteed, we need to go back to where it all began, his career. Lewis Hamilton didn't just enter Formula 1. He stormed onto the scene in 2007 as a rookie at McLaren, nearly winning the championship in his debut season. By 2008, he was world champion. That dramatic last lap overtake in Brazil is still one of the most iconic moments in F1 history. In 2013, Hamilton made what seemed like a risky decision to leave McLaren for Mercedes, a team that just few expected to dominate. But oh boy, did that gamble pay off. Over the next decade, Hamilton dominated F1 like no one else had before. 6 titles in 7 years turned him into a record-breaking machine. But even legends face challenges. In 2021, Hamilton lost the championship just by 8 points, and then came the new regulations in 2022 and 2023. Mercedes struggled to adapt, leaving Hamilton winless for 2 seasons, a far cry from his glory days. Now at Ferrari, Hamilton is facing perhaps the biggest challenge of his career. Ferrari is F1's most iconic team, but also its most unpredictable one. Sure, they've got history, 16 constructors titles and legends like Michael Schumacher, but they've also known for internal struggles and questionable decisions. Hamilton has built his career on overcoming obstacles, but can he overcome Ferrari's infamous chaos? That's the question we're here to answer. To understand why Hamilton's 8th title remains elusive, we need to revisit one of the most controversial moments in Formula 1 history, Abu Dhabi 2021.
First overtaking zone is normally down into turn 5. Is Verstappen far enough back? He's going to make the lunge down the inside. Hamilton sees it coming. It's a late lunge by Verstappen, who takes the lead of the race. Verstappen now snatches the championship trophy from Lewis Hamilton, who's trying to fight.
The final race of the season was set to decide the championship between Hamilton and Max Verstappen, with Hamilton leading the race comfortably, seemingly on his way to securing the record-breaking 8th title. But then came that safety car. A late crash brought out the safety car, and what followed was a series of decisions by race control that left fans, teams, and drivers stunned. The lap cars between Verstappen and Hamilton were clear, setting up a one-lap shootout for the championship. Verstappen, on fresh tires, overtook Hamilton in dramatic fashion to win his first title. For Hamilton, it was a crushing blow. He had dominated the second half of the season and driven a near-perfect race, only to lose it all in the final moments. The fallout was immense. Hamilton disappeared from public view for weeks, and Mercedes submitted protests that were ultimately rejected by the stewards. This moment didn't just cost Hamilton a title, it was a turning point in his career. It showed that even the greatest drivers aren't immune to the chaos and unpredictability of Formula 1. And while Hamilton had bounced back from setbacks before, Abu Dhabi 2021 remains a scar that continues to fuel debates about fairness in the sport. Now let's talk about Hamilton's move to Ferrari, a decision that stands out as one of the boldest choices of his career. After years of success at Mercedes, switching to Ferrari, a team known for its history but also its unpredictability, is a gamble that could make or break his legacy. Ferrari is synonymous with Formula 1. It's the most iconic team in the sport's history, with a legacy that spans decades. But behind the prestige lies a reputation for inconsistency, internal politics, and strategic missteps. Drivers like Fernando Alonso and Sebastian Vettel joined Ferrari with hopes of replicating Michael Schumacher's success, only to leave frustrated by missed opportunities and leadership challenges. and even Schumacher himself faced difficulties in his Ferrari career. It took years of patience and hard work to transform Ferrari into a team capable of sustained championship success in the early 2000s. For Alonso, despite coming heartbreakingly close in 2012, Ferrari's inability to deliver a competitive car ultimately defined his chapter at Ferrari. Vettel's time at Ferrari followed a similar pattern. Strong seasons overshadowed by internal issues. So why did Hamilton make this move? Part of it comes down to commercial appeal. Ferrari isn't just a racing team, it's a global icon. For Hamilton, joining Ferrari is an opportunity to cement his status as not just an F1 legend, but a cultural icon. The appeal of driving for Ferrari, especially as he approaches the twilight of his career, is undeniable. But prestige alone doesn't win championships. Hamilton will need more than just the Ferrari's legacy to succeed. He faces the same challenges that have tested other world-class drivers. Navigating internal dynamics, overcoming strategic errors, and dealing with immense pressure from fans and media alike. Ultimately, Hamilton's experience and resilience will be key in determining whether he can thrive at Ferrari or fall victim to the same struggles that have defined so many drivers' careers there. Will this gamble pay off? Only time will tell. At 40 years old, Hamilton is one of the oldest drivers on the grid in 2025. But age is just a number, right? Well, not quite. In Formula 1, age brings both advantages and disadvantages that could play a crucial role in Hamilton's quest for an 8th title. On one hand, Hamilton's experience is unmatched. With nearly 2 decades in the sport, he has seen it all, from title deciders to mid-grid battles. That kind of knowledge is invaluable when it comes to racecraft, tire management, and handling pressure in high-stakes situations. But on the other hand, age can take its toll, both physically and mentally. Formula 1 cars are incredibly demanding to drive, requiring peak fitness levels to enter long races at high speeds. While Hamilton has always been known for his dedication to fitness, competing against younger drivers like Charles Leclerc or Max Verstappen could be challenging as they continue to push boundaries on track. There's also the question of adaptability. F1 cars evolve rapidly with new regulations and technologies every few years. Younger drivers often adapt more quickly to these changes because they're still developing their driving styles. For Hamilton, adapting to Ferrari's car setup, especially one tailored to Leclerc, might take time. Ultimately, Hamilton's age versus experience battle will be one of the key factors in determining whether he can succeed at Ferrari. He has proven time and again that he thrives under pressure, but this challenge might be unlike any he has faced before. To understand why Hamilton might struggle to win his 8th title, we need to take a closer look at the competition he's up against in 2025. Formula 1 has evolved into one of the most competitive eras in its history, with a grid stacked full of talent and championship contenders. First, there's Max Verstappen. The reigning champion has been a dominant force in recent years, but Red Bull's car is no longer the unstoppable machine it once was. The team has faced setbacks in preseason testing and early races, struggling with balance issues and slower than expected development. While Verstappen's skill and consistency keep him competitive, Red Bull's car performance has left them playing catch-up to McLaren, Ferrari and Mercedes in certain situations. This opens the door for other teams to challenge their dominance. And then, there's Charles Leclerc, Hamilton's new teammate at Ferrari. Leclerc has proven himself to be one of the fastest drivers on the grid, with incredible qualifying pace and raw talent. While Ferrari hasn't always delivered a championship-winning car, Leclerc has shown he can extract every bit of performance from whatever he's given. Sharing a team with Leclerc adds another layer of complexity for Hamilton. Not only will he battle rivals from other teams, but he'll also face an internal fight for supremacy within Ferrari. On paper, they're a dream team, two of the most talented drivers on the grid, both hungry for success. However, history shows that having two top-tier drivers in the same team often leads to tension rather than harmony. Ferrari has built its strategy around Leclerc for years, but with Hamilton now in the picture, Leclerc is no longer the undisputed number one driver, and this shift could create tension. Hamilton's past rivalries with teammates like Nico Rosberg at Mercedes or Fernando Alonso during his rookie year at McLaren demonstrate how quickly partnerships can turn into fierce battles when championships are on the line. If Ferrari delivers a car capable of winning races, it's almost inevitable that Hamilton and Leclerc will clash on the track. And Ferrari's history of struggling to manage internal rivalries could make this an even bigger issue. And let's not forget George Russell at Mercedes and Lando Norris with Piastri at McLaren. They are all hungry for success and determined to make their mark on the sport. Mercedes may not be as dominant as they once were, but Russell has shown he can challenge even the best drivers when given the right machinery. Meanwhile, McLaren's impressive rise had put Norris and Piastri in a position to fight for podiums and to wins, making them another key players in the title race. The 2025 grid is stacked with talent, and Hamilton will need to bring his absolute best every weekend if he hopes to stay in the fight for the title. But with so many strong competitors and Ferrari's history of inconsistency, it won't be an easy task. Hamilton's success in Formula 1 hasn't just been about speed, it's been about his mentality. Over the years, he has demonstrated incredible resilience and focus, bouncing back from setbacks that would have broken other drivers. But as he enters this new chapter at Ferrari, the psychological battle might be tougher than ever before. First, there's the pressure of chasing history. Winning an title would make Hamilton the most successful driver in F1 history, a record that comes with immense expectations. Every race will be scrutinized, every mistake magnified, and at Ferrari, where driver performance is constantly under the microscope, that pressure will only grow. Then, there's the challenge of adapting to a new team environment. Ferrari operates very differently from Mercedes, and Hamilton will need to navigate its unique culture while building relationships with engineers and strategists who are used to working with Leclerc as their lead driver. Adjusting to this dynamic could take time, and this time is not on Hamilton's side this late in his career. Hamilton has always thrived under pressure, but this time it feels different. The stakes are higher than ever before, and the road ahead is filled with obstacles that will test not just his skill, but his mindset as well. If there is one person who holds the key to Hamilton's success at Ferrari, it's the team principal Vasseur. As the man in charge of managing both drivers and shaping Ferrari's strategy, Vasseur faces an enormous task ahead of him. Vasseur joined Ferrari in 2023 after years of experience leading teams like Sauber and Renault. He's known for being calm under pressure and having a straightforward leadership style, qualities that will be crucial as he tries to balance the dynamic between Hamilton and Leclerc while also steering Ferrari back to championship-winning form. But let's not forget that managing a team like Ferrari is no easy task. The Scuderia operates under intense scrutiny from fans, media and even its own leadership. Every decision Vasseur makes will be analyzed and criticized, especially when it comes to handling two-star drivers like Hamilton and Leclerc. One of Vasseur's biggest challenges will be ensuring that both drivers feel supported while avoiding favoritism, a balancing act that many team principals have failed in the past. If he can get it right, Ferrari could become an unstoppable force. If not, well, we've seen how quickly things can unravel when tension boils over. Another critical factor to consider is whether Vasseur can improve Ferrari's notorious strategic weaknesses. Over the years, poor decision-making on race days had cost them countless points and maybe even championships. For Hamilton to have any chance at his A title, Vasseur will need to ensure that Ferrari operates like a well-oiled machine, not just on track, but behind the scenes as well. Ultimately, Fred Vasseur could be Hamilton's greatest ally or his biggest obstacle at Ferrari. His ability to lead the team effectively will play a huge role in determining whether this partnership ends in triumph or disappointment. When Lewis Hamilton announced his move to Ferrari, the news sent shockwaves through the Formula 1 community. Fans were thrilled. After all, Ferrari and Hamilton together seemed like the ultimate dream team. The idea of seeing one of the greatest drivers in history racing for the most iconic team in F1 was enough to spark endless debates, predictions, and excitement. But here's the thing, expectations don't always align with reality. Fans are already envisioning Hamilton dominating in Ferrari red, winning races and finally securing his A title. Social media is flooded with images of Hamilton lifting the championship trophy in front of a sea of tifosi. The hype is real, but the reality might be far more complicated. So while the dream of Hamilton winning his A title at Ferrari is alive and widespread among the fans, the reality is far more uncertain. Success at Ferrari isn't guaranteed, even for someone as talented as Hamilton. And now we come to the big question. Will Lewis Hamilton succeed at Ferrari? It's a question that doesn't have a simple answer. On one hand, Hamilton has everything it takes to win: experience, skill, resilience, and an unmatched ability to perform under pressure. On the other hand, Ferrari presents challenges unlike any other he has faced before. For Hamilton to succeed at Ferrari, three key factors must align: a competitive car, smart race strategies, and a well-managed dynamic with Charles Leclerc. Without these, even Hamilton's brilliance won't be enough to secure his A title. Finally, there's the matter of time. At 40 years old, Hamilton doesn't have many seasons left in Formula 1. The clock is ticking, and he'll need results quickly if he wants to cement his legacy as the greatest driver of all time. So will he succeed? It's hard to say. Hamilton has defied expectations again and again throughout his career, but Ferrari is a different beast altogether. But one thing is certain. Regardless of the outcome, this chapter of Hamilton's career will be remembered as a defining moment in F1 history.